Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode. My name is Jordan. I'm a millennial investor, and today's episode is going to be a little bit different than normal. Normally, we like to talk about stocks that I own in M1 Finance, whether it be in the dividend growth portfolio like these 21 right here, or if we're talking about the growth portfolio like my two holdings like Amazon and Salesforce. But today, that's not the case. Today, we're going to do a video that's a little bit different, and it's from CNBC Make It, and it's titled, Company Loyalty Will Make You Poor. Early retiree credits his $1 million net worth to these, quote, 7 unpopular opinions. So we're going to go over what those 7 unpopular opinions are, what my opinion are of them, as someone who's a financial independence retire early student, who's someone that's pursuing this actively. You can see that every single month I update my portfolio, and then as of today's close, we also have this as well as my year-to-date performance versus SPY, NASDAQ, Russell 2000, all that good stuff. But basically, as someone myself who's pursuing millionaire status, is this something that I think is accurate? We're going to go through these 7 reasons of whether or not I think there's something that you should use and something I think that's valuable. If you haven't checked me out before, my name is Jordan. I'm a millennial investor, and like I said, I have this dividend portfolio as well as my growth portfolio that I manage in M1 Finance that is shared down below in the description. And speaking of the description, there's other things that you can check out as well, including credit card referrals, M1 Finance referral bonuses, swag bucks, Yada savings account, all that stuff. So go ahead and check that down below. And we've had 124 people sign up for M1 Finance so far, so being number 125 to sign up for that so far. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you like it down below. And let's go ahead and get started with number 1 on the list, which is company loyalty will make you poor. It says if you're not switching jobs regularly, you're leaving money on the table. Taking a new position at a different company is one of the best ways to get a substantial raise. I've switched jobs 5 times in the span of my 14-year career and got a 15 to 20% raise each time. This increased my salary well beyond the rate of inflation. Employers will do whatever is in their best interest, and employees should do the same. Now, this is absolutely true. A lot of times you can switch companies for good raises, and I'm at a company, fortunately, where I think that they have a really unique situation compared to other employers and other corporations, that they have a leveling up system where you don't have to worry about once a year getting your slight little 2, 3, 4% pay bump. You're constantly getting paid off of your work, off of your value. You're not getting paid off of a 6 or 1 year timeline. You're instead constantly being graded upon how much value you brought to the company, how many clients you've set up, how many clients you've sold products to, all these different metrics that they grade you upon that will level you up. But generally speaking, yes, I agree with switching companies that will pay you more and give you more opportunities for advancement is normally the better thing to do if you're not being valued at your current position. Number 2, most millionaires are self-made. A 2022 report from research firm Ramsey Solutions found that 74% of millennials believe that millionaires inherited their money, and more than half of baby boomers think the same. But many of the millionaires I knew built wealth on their own, and knowing that gave me greater financial motivation. In fact, of the 10,000 millionaires that Ramsey Solutions surveyed, 79% didn't receive any inheritances. Instead, most of them got rich through, quote, consistent investing, avoiding debt, and smart spending. Now, what this little research here doesn't tell you from Ramsey Solutions, which is based off of Dave Ramsey's company. Dave Ramsey is like the largest financial publication of any personal person that I know. He's likely the biggest finance YouTuber, likely in the entire space, about 1 million bajillion times bigger than my channel will ever be. But from his report, he found that 79% didn't receive any inheritances. What this doesn't include in here is that 90% received either no inheritances or very little, meaning that if you include the additional 11%, there was about 11% of the study out of the 10,000 that did receive an inheritance, but it was very small, an insignificant amount of, say, $10,000 or $50,000. It didn't get them to millionaire status. It might have given them a slight edge, but basically, as you can tell from their research, about 90% of the time, these millionaires didn't start with a whole lot. They either started with nothing or they started with not enough to really make a difference in terms of them becoming millionaires. So as myself, who's pursuing being a self-made millionaire, I definitely hope this is the case, and the data backs that up. Number 3, your life partner can hurt your finances. Many of my friends got married young, in their early to mid-20s, and now a big point of relationship tension for a lot of them is money related. Like opposite spending habits or an unwillingness to have money conversations. I choose to wait until I found someone who shared the same financial values, and it was one of the best life decisions I ever made. Getting on the same page about finances with a partner might not be a priority for most people, but it was for me. Today, I have a supportive spouse who is just as enthusiastic about investing and living a frugal lifestyle as I am. Now, I will say, If you didn't know, if you haven't followed me closely, I got married just about a month ago. So I'm a newlywed, right? And I would extend this beyond finances. This is not a money question. This is a lifestyle relationship question. What I would extend this to is, if you see what he says right here, he says that if you don't have someone that has had the willingness to have money conversation, I would extend this to having willingness about any serious conversation. It doesn't matter if we're talking about marriage, we're talking about children, we're talking about sex, we're talking about money, we're talking about family issues or religion or political beliefs. If you're not able to have these type of conversations with your life partner, then they likely should not be your life partner. Being able to have open, brutally honest discussions with your spouse is key to the success of a relationship, in my opinion. My wife Katie, we discuss everything, and that includes money, but it's so much beyond money. We discuss all the nitty-gritty, the good and the bad, because honestly, like I said, to reiterate back again, in my opinion, I think that if you don't, I don't think you're likely going to have a very successful marriage, and there's going to be a lot of unanswered questions. So yes, that goes for money, but that really goes for all important things in life. Number 4, you don't need to hustle 24/7. You might think that hustling will make you rich faster, but it also means that having less time to take care of your body, and no amount of money is worth neglecting your physical and mental health. To grow your wealth, you don't need to always be moving, producing, and working. Prioritizing things like sleep, exercise, and a proper diet gives you the opportunity to refuel for the next day. I always put my health first, and as a result, I feel happier and much more energetic, productive, and creative. Now, this is something that I can relate to. For about 2 years straight, I consistently just grinded so hard. If you go back here to my portfolio, during this time period of 2020 when I started my portfolio with a hot $1,500, right? It looks so small now in comparison to today, closing at around 40,000. What do we close at today? 40,930, right? So compared to just about 2 years ago, we had 1,500. That's a big difference. For someone like myself who's been a college student up until 3 months ago when I graduated with my bachelor's degree, that is a significant amount of money. It still is. And $1,500 seems like it was a million years ago, right? But going back to this, I spent about 2 years where I didn't do anything. I didn't go out to eat. I didn't buy anything that I wanted, and I sacrificed a lot. And I think if you're on the extreme, like with most things in life, if you're on the extreme of one or the other, you're probably not living life the way that you should. And then the example with finances and the hustle mentality. If you're doing nothing and you're not pursuing any type of wealth creation, you're not working hard enough, you don't have a job, you don't do any type of goals or career-like opportunities that you take advantage of, if you're doing nothing at all, then that's likely not the way you should be living your life. And then on the flip side, if you're working 80-hour weeks and you have 8 side hustles and you sacrifice family and happiness over a dollar bill, then that's likely not the way to be living your life either. The key to this one, in my opinion, on number 4, and this is something that I've tried to do, is that I still work more than the average person. I work normally about 45 to 50 hours a week with my regular job, and then I do other things, including with the investing stuff and then with YouTube. So generally speaking, if I had to put it down to a number, I would say I probably on average work around maybe 50 to 55 hours a week, if I had to say. But generally speaking, I think that that's a healthy balance for me, because I used to have many weeks where I would work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. And so that's definitely cut down, and I'm a lot happier because of it. Number 5, growing up poor doesn't mean you can't build wealth. I come from a very low income family. My grandfather was a pastor and barely got by financially because he wasn't good with his money. My dad adopted those same habits and spent most of his early years living paycheck to paycheck. Luckily, he recognized his father's bad habits and changed his ways later in life. He taught me the value of saving and investing and told me that credit card debt would ruin my financial stability, like it did for his dad. I learned that even without a 6-figure salary, he can still get rich. This is 100% true. I have met so many people that make far more money than me, that make $100,000 a year, $150,000 a year, whatever, and they barely get by. They have little to no savings. They live paycheck to paycheck. And then I've also met many other people that have a different scenario where, they're comfortable, they have a paid for home, and they work at Walmart for $15 an hour. And growing up poor or rich, It definitely influences you, but it does not determine who you are. If anything, I would say that generally it leads to opposites. The people that grew up poor likely either end up one of the two. They either stay poor the rest of their lives, or they want to become better because they knew what it was like to struggle, and so they become really successful. And then the same thing for the rich. A lot of times that they either get rich and they stay rich because life is so easy for them. They've had it handed to a lot of them, and that's okay. Or they take it for granted and then they kind of, just throw it all away, and then they end up very poor and very unhappy. Generally speaking, a lot of the times I have kids that see grow up extremely wealthy. They generally struggle with a lot of different things in life, and that's not just money related, with many different things, including relationships and all different other types of things. Number 6, a prestigious degree does not guarantee wealth. While your degree can help you get your foot in the right door, it's what you do after you graduate that makes the real difference. I didn't have a fancy degree in an Ivy League. I saved up much of an emergency fund and invested at least 10% of my income early on. Over the years, that helped me create a comfortable retirement lifestyle. My best advice is to look for inexpensive options, perhaps staying in-state paid school tuition that has a great program in what you're interested in. Then take advantage of the alumni network and job placement opportunities from there. And this is very true. Once again, I've met many people that have graduated college and make a fortune. I've met many people that graduated college and barely get by. I've met many people that are high school dropouts or never went to college and make more money than me. And I've also met many of them that are very poor as well. So it goes both ways. I don't really think there's one answer that's correct. It could really go either way. But number 6 is definitely true. It doesn't guarantee anything. You're going to have to work hard in this life no matter what you do. And number 7, lastly, your passion won't pay the bills. Rich celebrities often tell you that they have achieved success by following their passions, but that doesn't work for everyone. It's easier for most of us to earn a living through our strengths than through our passions. Our passions tend to be more creative, and it's usually harder to earn a high salary in a creative field. My hobby was photography, but I chose a career in software development because it was what I was good at. The salary difference between those two career paths is drastically different. Now, as an early retiree, I'm actually able to enjoy and spend more time on my passions. This is also very true. This is the same thing like with me with YouTube. I hardly make any money from this channel. I think so far in August, we're like 3 weeks into me coming back to the channel in August. And I think in the 3 weeks, I think I'm at like $40 of revenue, and that's before taxes. So even after that, I've probably made a hot like $30, okay? So I don't make a lot of money from this, but I'm not quitting my job. I'm not quitting my day job to pursue YouTube. There's many people that have done that and have been very successful and unsuccessful about it. But at the end of the day, what you need to do is you need to earn a living. You need to find something that can pay the bills, and you can spend every ounce of your free time focusing on your passions, whether that's dreams or hobbies or building a family, whatever that thing is. That's what you should do with your free time, and use your day job as a way to supplement that, to make sure that you can provide for your family, provide for yourself, and always be in a comfortable position of power where you're not obligated to an employer or a person telling you what you have to do. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit different. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Feel free to check out all the stuff down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.